It's time for the One Barr and Lupica Show, bringing you anything and everything Minnesota Vikings.
Welcome to professional football.
All right, welcome back to the One Barr and Lupica Show. I am One Barr, and today's episode, we're going to be talking Minnesota Vikings linebackers. We're going to be comparing the 2019 linebacking core to the 2020, and we're going to let you know if we got better, worse, or stayed the same. And spoiler alert, we never say they stayed the same because that is boring, that is lame, and that is bullshit. So they either got better or they got worse. Easy peasy. Before we get into that, remember, subscribe to the One Barr and Lupica Show. Like the videos. We're so damn close to 500 subscribers. Help us get over the hump. Hump is one of the fantastic words I love to say. Also, look at that quarantine hair. Oh, my God. Yuck. All right, let's get into it. I'm not going to sit and reminisce about the 2019 season. We know who we had. We got two of the best linebackers in the league. Eric Kendricks, we all know, is vastly underrated. He's kind of like the Harrison Smith of linebackers, where he does not get as much love as he should. Why that is, whatever. We just know that he shows up every damn week and balls out. Same with Anthony Barr. Both of them 28 years old. So I'm not going to take age into consideration here. I think 28, they're still on the upswing here before a couple of years before they start that age starts coming through. So we got all three starters coming back: Barr, Kendricks, Eric Wilson. Eric Wilson started like 6 games last year, I think. Ben Gideon started about 5. Ben Gideon, we know, is our 4th rounder from 2017 that, you know, when we drafted him, it's not like we expected the world from him. But I would say he hasn't really lived up to that 4th round selection. But he has decent depth, special teamer. The only guy we have lost is Cantrell Brothers was a free agent. We opted not to bring him back. He was pretty good on special teams, but you know what? He can be replaced. So that was our 2019 version. 2020, like I said, it's very similar. We added a 4th round pick, Troy Dye from Oregon. We still have Cam Smith coming back, and we have DeMarcus Gates, who was an AAFer and an XFLer in those leagues. You know, he was pretty damn good. He was one of the better linebackers in those leagues. But apples to oranges, this is the NFL, baby. He was actually signed to the Redskins, I think, last year and cut with a very short stint. So we'll see what happens there. But Cam Smith, DeMarcus Gates, I'm taking him out of the equation here. I think Cam Smith ends up being on the practice squad for another year. Ben Gideon is a free agent after this year. So Cam Smith being on the practice squad for another year, maybe next year he comes in and he can fill in that depth that Gideon lost, or Gideon will leave a hole in. We'll see what happens. DeMarcus Gates, I mean, let's be real. It'd be very surprising if he made the team. I think it'd even be surprising if he made the practice squad. So we'll see what happens. So we kept 5 linebackers in 2019 on the active roster. And this year, I fully expect us to keep 5 linebackers as well. If anywhere we're going to keep extra guys, it's going to be in the secondary. It's going to be on defensive line. We need help there. Young, a lot of replacements. So linebackers, if we were to keep 5, this would be our 5. It'd be Anthony Barr, it'd be Eric Kendricks, Eric Wilson, Troy Dye, and yes, Ben Gideon. Even though people will probably cringe at the thought of keeping Ben Gideon another year, he's better than Cam Smith. There's no sugarcoating it. He's going to add better depth. He's got a lot of starting experience, whether you like it or not, and he's a special teamer. So the only real difference between this year and last year will be Troy Dye. That's it. Troy Dye, smaller linebacker. We got him in round 4. Really, I mean, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a Vikings fan, but Troy Dye probably should have went in round 3. I was very surprised when he lasted until round 4. He's quick. He's a very good cover linebacker, which I think is going to come into play here. So here's the big differences between 2019. Not only just because Cantrell Brothers and Troy Dye, I'm not going to compare that. I think with Eric Wilson, he has gotten better every damn year for the Vikings, and he's still young. He's going to be looking to prove himself because he will be a free agent again next year. He's going to be looking to make some bank. He's going to look to cash in, so he's going to be extra hungry. I expect a big year from Eric Wilson. Everybody's saying, you know what, Troy Dye's going to come in. Maybe he starts. I don't see it that way. I think it's going to be Barr, Kendrick, and Wilson. And like I said, I think Wilson will be very good this year, to the point where we're not even going to be able to re-sign him. But Troy Dye, it's not like we're going to put him on the shelf. I think the biggest thing this year, the biggest difference is Anthony Barr has always been our cover linebacker. Troy Dye is going to be better than Anthony Barr at that. Troy Dye is going to be able to come in, spot duty, third downs, whatever it is, and take that role. And Anthony Barr is going to be hauling ass to that quarterback. Anthony Barr is going to be doing what he should have been drafted to do, and that is go after the quarterback, make those big splashy plays. We've seen him do it, and I think Troy Dye is going to give him the ability to do that. So while I don't think Troy Dye is going to be a starter as a rookie, I think next year definitely when Eric Wilson probably goes make some bank somewhere else, Troy Dye will step in. I actually like the fact that Troy Dye will be able to kind of be in the background a little bit this year, come in when needed, while Eric Wilson does his thing, and then Troy Dye can be tossed in there next year. But Troy Dye is going to have a huge impact on this. Maybe not the plays he makes, but giving him the ability for Anthony Barr to make the plays that he should be making. So for that alone, I'm going to cut to the chase here. I think the 2020 linebacking core is going to be not only better, I think it is going to be much better. And that is saying something big when you got Kendricks and Barr out there. Kendricks made his first Pro Bowl last year. Barr, what's he got, 4 or 5 Pro Bowls? And Ben Gideon will continue to do his thing, add depth, be a special teamer. But Eric Wilson will get that starting job, and I think Troy Dye will be out there over Gideon. So overall, final, better, much better. Very excited about Troy Dye. Very excited about the year that Eric Wilson will have. Like I said, he's gotten better every damn year, and this is a contract year. Expecting big things.